Hello everyone, I am going to quickly work through this 8-mark question that you got in your paper 1 yesterday. So the question is saying that given f of x, which is x squared, determine the minimum distance between the point 10, 2 and a point on f. So if we're working with distance, remember we need to work with the distance formula. So the distance formula is always the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, like that. That is the distance formula. So what we need in order to find the distance is we need 2 points. We need our point 10, 2, which they did give us, and then we need a point on f. Now because they're saying a point on f, it's not a specific point, it can be any point. Now guys, a point on f will always have an x value of x, and then if the x value is x, the y value will be the function, because remember that f of x means y. Alright, so the y value of this point will be x squared. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to use the distance formula to express the distance between 10, 2 and x squared. Now because they're asking for minimum, we're going to make the derivative equal to 0 and then solve for x from there. But now we can't find the derivative of a square root. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the distance squared and then find that, because the minimum distance is going to also give you the minimum distance squared. Okay, so let me just quickly write that. All right, so we're going to find the distance squared between these 2 points that I've written down here, 10, 2, and that point there. So we're going to do the x value of the 1 point is, I'm going to start with my x, that value over there, minus 10, and that I'm going to square, plus the y value, which is x squared, minus 2, and that I'm going to square. From there I'm going to now multiply it out rather, because I can't find the derivative of that. So if you square that bracket, you're going to get x squared minus 20x plus 100 plus, when you square an x squared, you're going to get x to the 4 minus 4x squared plus 4. And now I'm just going to simplify this. Now for the minimum distance squared, I'm going to do distance squared, the derivative of that, and I'm going to make it equal to 0. Then I'm going to do 4x cubed minus 6x minus 20 equal to 0. And now I'm going to solve for x here. We can divide through by a 2, so I'm going to do 2x cubed minus 3x minus 10, and now you're going to have to factorize that. All right, so when you factorize this cubic equation here at the top, then you get this. Now this quadratic expression that we're getting here, that trinomial, actually doesn't have real roots. It can't be factorized. So from here, we're going to get one x value, and that is x equals 2. So that means that when x is equal to 2, you're going to have a minimum distance. Now we still actually have to calculate the minimum distance, because that is what they're asking for in the question. So we're going to have to use our distance formula now, which I wrote down at first, and I'm going to have to actually just calculate that minimum distance. So now our 2 points are, if x is 2, this point is going to be the point 2 and 2 squared, right, which is 4. So the minimum distance is actually going to be between 10, 2 and 2, 4. So all that's left for us is now to actually calculate that distance using the formula. Notice that I'm now not calculating distance squared because they've asked for the distance. So I am just writing this down. And then you should get a final answer of 2 root 17 units. Let me know if you got it right.